You're exhausted. Not because you've run a marathon, not because you've worked a 12-hour day, not even because of your endless to-do list. You're exhausted for a reason that's harder to name. You're exhausted from caring too much, caring about what others think, caring about how you came across in that meeting, caring about a conversation you replay in your head 100 times, caring about how people on social media will judge you. And here's the most painful truth. Most of the things you care about don't care back. You lose sleep over opinions that were never even spoken. You sacrifice peace for approval you may never receive. You bend, twist, overthink, just to carry expectations that were never yours to begin with. But what if happiness doesn't come from controlling more? What if it comes from caring less about the wrong things? Buddhist wisdom teaches us, the moment you loosen your grip, peace enters. And today, we'll walk a path together. A path that shows why caring less doesn't make you cold, it makes you free. Imagine you're hiking up a steep mountain. On your back is a heavy backpack. At first you think, I can handle this. But mile after mile, the weight becomes unbearable. Your shoulders ache. Your breath shortens. Your legs shake. And yet, when someone asks what's inside the pack, you realize you packed it yourself. Inside are stones, each one carved with words like, people must respect me. Life should be fair. I have to prove myself. They should understand me. I can't make mistakes. Day after day, you add new stones. A careless comment from a colleague, another stone. A short reply from a friend, another stone. Scrolling through social media and comparing yourself. 2 more stones. No wonder you feel exhausted. The weight you're carrying isn't life, it's your own expectations. Buddhist philosophy tells us suffering doesn't arise from what happens, but from our attachment to how we think things should happen. Picture yourself setting down the pack. The stones are still there, but they no longer crush you. You can finally breathe. You can finally stand tall. That's the essence of letting go. It doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. It means refusing to carry stones that were never meant for you. Ask yourself right now, what stone am I still carrying that no longer serves me? Whose judgment? Which expectation? What belief? Freedom begins not when the world changes, but when you decide to put the backpack down. In the modern world, especially in the West, control is celebrated. We admire those who have it all together. We chase apps that promise control over our time, our money, our relationships. We believe, if I can just control enough pieces, I'll finally feel safe. But control is a trickster. The tighter you grip, the more life slips through your fingers. Buddhism reminds us, you will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. The same is true for control. You're not punished by the world. You're punished by your grip on it. Think of your hand clenched into a fist. The tighter you clench, the more painful it becomes. You can't hold peace, love, or joy with a closed fist. Now slowly open your hand and notice the difference. That's letting go. That's trust. That's peace. You can't control the economy. You can't control the weather. You can't control your boss, your partner, your children. The only thing you can truly master is the space between trigger and response. That small breath, that pause, that's where your power lies. The less you try to control everything outside you, the more power you discover inside you. So the question becomes, will you keep clenching your fist until it hurts? Or will you finally open your hand and allow life to breathe again? We like to believe we are free, free to make our own choices, free to live life on our own terms. But if you look closer, you may notice something unsettling. Your life is quietly being pulled by invisible strings. The string of approval. Do they like me? The string of fear. What if I fail? The string of perfection. If I just work harder, maybe I'll finally be enough. These strings don't shout, they whisper. They disguise themselves as responsibility, ambition, or even love. But if you look underneath, you'll see what really pulls them. Fear. Think about it. You say yes to something you don't want because you fear disappointing someone. You stay silent in a meeting not because you have nothing to say, but because you fear being judged. You scroll endlessly, posting, liking, comparing, not because it brings joy, but because you're searching for validation. Each time, the string pulls. Each time, you dance like a puppet. But here's the good news. Strings lose their power when you name them. When you say, this is my approval trap, or this is my fear of rejection, or this is my overthinking spiral. The moment you see the string, you no longer move unconsciously. You gain the power to cut it. This is what I call emotional minimalism. Just like cleaning out a cluttered closet, you can clean out your inner world. Not every thought needs your energy. Not every fear deserves your reaction. Not every string should be allowed to pull you. Ask yourself, which invisible string is pulling me the hardest today? And what would happen if I chose to cut it? Because here's the paradox. When you stop being a puppet to life, you don't lose control. You gain it. Not over the world, but over yourself. And that's the only control that ever truly matters. Western culture has a saying, I think, therefore I am. But Buddhist wisdom flips this on its head. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. At first, this sounds strange. After all, we spend every waking moment inside our heads. Thoughts seem to define us. But pause for a moment. Imagine the sky. Clouds drift across it. Some are light and soft. Others are dark, heavy, and stormy. But the sky itself, unchanging, vast, clear, untouched. Your thoughts are the clouds. You are the sky. When anxiety rises, don't say, I am anxious. Instead say, anxiety is visiting me. When self-doubt whispers, don't say, I am worthless. Instead say, this is just a thought. It is not the truth. Because here's the danger. When you forget you are the sky, you start believing you're the storm. You spiral. You panic. You drown in thoughts that were never meant to define you. Buddhism teaches, don't believe everything you think. Thoughts are visitors, some helpful, some unhelpful, but none of them are you. Try this practice. The next time your mind spins a painful story, pause, name it. This is fear, or this is comparison, or this is anger. By naming it, you create distance. And in that distance, you discover freedom. Because the truth is, you don't need to silence the storm. You only need to remember, you were never the storm at all. In America, in Europe, in much of the modern world, busyness has become a badge of honor. Ask someone, how are you? And they'll proudly reply, busy. Busy has become the new normal. Busy equals important. Busy equals successful. But here's the trap. Busyness doesn't mean progress. Busyness doesn't mean peace. You can be busy all day, running, hustling, grinding, and still feel empty at night. Why? Because busyness scatters your energy across 100 meaningless tasks. Buddhism doesn't glorify the grind. It glorifies presence. The Buddha once said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." In the same way, better than 1,000 scattered tasks is one action done with full awareness. Think of your mind like a bow. Every responsibility, every task pulls the string tighter. But if you fire arrows in every direction, none will hit the target. Clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing less, but doing it with presence, focus, and intention. This is where the Western world often stumbles. We mistake busyness for meaning, but meaning isn't in doing everything. It's in doing the right things. Ask yourself today, if I stopped being busy, what would actually matter? What 3 things truly deserve my attention? Emotionally, spiritually, practically. Because busyness may impress the world, but it's presence that nourishes the soul. You're not tired because you've done too much. You are tired because too much of what you've done doesn't matter. Think about your typical day. How many hours are consumed by emails that could have waited? By conversations that drained you instead of feeding you? By small, meaningless tasks that looked urgent but had no value? Your energy is not infinite. Every yes you give is a no to something else. And the tragedy is this: most of us spend our lives saying yes to what doesn't matter, while starving what does. Buddhism offers a different way. Simplicity. Not laziness, not passivity. Simplicity as discipline. The Buddha said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." The same is true for your life. Better than 1,000 scattered actions is one action done with full presence. Here's the practice. Each morning, choose 3 essentials, not 10, not 20. Just 3 things that truly matter. Emotionally, spiritually, practically. Show up fully for those 3. Drop the rest. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. You'll feel guilty saying no. You'll worry what people think. But over time, you'll discover something miraculous. When you stop scattering your life force, you stop feeling empty. Doing less is not about shrinking your life. It's about deepening it. It's about being like an arrow. Precise, powerful, purposeful. So ask yourself, what can I eliminate today? What can I simplify? What would it look like to trade busyness for depth, distraction for meaning? The less you do, the more deeply you live. Here's a truth most people don't realize. Your suffering often doesn't come from reality itself. It comes from the story you wrap around reality. Someone sends you a short text. Instantly, your mind begins the drama. They must be angry with me. I did something wrong. Maybe they don't care about me anymore. Your heart races, your mood shifts, your peace shatters. But was there really a problem? Or was the only problem the movie you just created in your mind? Our minds are master storytellers. They cast us as the victim, the villain, the fixer. They add plot twists, tension, cliffhangers, and without awareness, we buy a ticket to every show. But Buddhism offers a radical alternative. Don't act in the play, watch it. When the next drama starts, pause. Ask yourself, is this real? Or is this just a story? That one question creates space. And in that space, peace begins. You don't have to react to every thought. You don't have to solve every feeling. You don't have to fight every inner storm. You are not the storm. You are the sky in which the storm happens. So try this practice. The next time your mind writes a painful script, don't become the actor. Don't join the performance. Just watch. Watch the thoughts rise peak and fade. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is not fight harder, but simply stop acting in the movie your mind creates. That is where inner freedom begins. When pain arrives, most of us close. We fold in on ourselves. We armor up. We say, never again. It's natural. It feels protective. But here's the paradox. Healing doesn't come from closing. It comes from staying open. A flower doesn't bloom by avoiding the rain. It blooms through the rain. Buddhism teaches you only lose what you cling to. And often, clinging looks like shutting down, holding back, pretending we don't feel. Think about the last time you were hurt emotionally, spiritually, relationally. Did you contract? Did you harden? Did you hide? Closing may protect you in the moment, but it also cages you in patterns of fear. True resilience is different. True resilience is the ability to stay open, even when life stings. Staying open doesn't mean becoming passive. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means choosing softness where life taught you to harden. It means allowing yourself to feel without becoming your pain. The next time your chest tightens in fear or anger, pause. Breathe into that space. Ask, where am I closing right now? And what am I protecting? Then gently, softly, open. This is not weakness. This is invincibility. Not against the world, but against your own resistance. Because a heart that stays open cannot be broken. It can only expand. You wake up expecting kindness, a message, a gesture, a recognition. But it doesn't come. And just like that, your mood collapses. Not because life is cruel, but because you are holding a rope. That rope is expectation. Expectations are like invisible cords we wrap around people, events, even ourselves. We think they connect us, but more often, they strangle us. Buddhism teaches attachment is the root of suffering. And expectations are simply attachment disguised. We don't just want life to unfold, we want it to unfold on our terms. Think of all the hidden expectations that live inside you. My friend should have remembered my birthday. My partner should have reacted differently. My boss should have recognized my effort. By now, I should have been more successful. Every expectation is like a rope tied to a heavy stone labeled how life should be. And the tighter you grip the rope, the deeper the pain cuts into your hand. But here's the paradox. The freedom you seek doesn't come from holding tighter. It comes from letting go. What would happen if you dropped the rope? What if you allowed people to be who they are, not who you wish they'd be? What if you allowed life to unfold, instead of demanding it fit your script? Letting go of expectation isn't giving up. It's giving us in to what is. It's not weakness, it's liberation. So today, pause and ask, what rope am I holding right now? Can I cut it? Not because they deserve it, but because you do. Say it with me. This moment is enough. I am enough. They are enough. And maybe, just maybe, the rope you cut today is the one that has been choking your peace for years. In the West, non-attachment is often misunderstood. People hear it and think, so you want me not to care? To stop loving? To stop feeling? But that's not non-attachment. That's apathy. And apathy is lifeless. Non-attachment isn't about not caring. It's about caring wisely. It's about love without chains, care without control, presence without possession. Imagine holding someone's hand, or if you squeeze too tightly, neither of you can breathe. The love suffocates. But if you hold gently, openly, freely, the connection becomes deeper. Non-attachment is like holding water in your palm. If you cup it gently, it stays. But if you grasp, it slips away. So many of us confuse attachment for love. We think, if I don't cling, I'll lose them. If I don't control, I'll be abandoned. But the truth is the opposite. Clinging doesn't preserve love. It suffocates it. True love is not possession. It is presence. Ask yourself, can I be with this person or this moment fully without demanding it? Lasts forever. That is non-attachment. Not detachment from life, but connection without chains. Not withdrawing from love, but loving so deeply that you can let it be free. This is spiritual maturity. The ability to love without owning, to care without clinging, to stay present without fearing the future. And in that clarity, your heart finally breathes. From the moment you were born, you were handed a script. Be successful, be impressive, be attractive, be perfect. And day after day, you've performed it, hoping for applause. But what if just for a moment you stopped pretending? What if you stepped off the stage? Because here's the truth, social roles are illusions. The more you perform for the world, the more you lose sight of who you truly are. Think about your daily interactions. How many are driven by the desire to impress? How many decisions are shaped not by your soul, but by how you think others will see you? Social media has made this even worse. We polish, post, and filter, living for likes instead of living for life. But applause is fleeting, and when the clapping stops, emptiness returns. Buddhism reminds us, the less you perform for the world, the more aligned you become with your true nature. Freedom begins when you stop acting, when you stop wearing masks, when you stop shaping yourself for approval, and allow yourself to simply be. Ask yourself, who am I trying to impress today? And what would happen if I no longer needed to? Because here's the liberation. When you live for truth, not applause, you are no longer a puppet to external expectations. You become the author of your own script. And in that authenticity, you find the peace that performance could never give. Your attention is your most sacred power. Whatever you shine it on, grows. Focus on negativity. Negativity expands. Focus on fear. Fear multiplies. Focus on peace. Peace blossoms. But here's the challenge. In today's world, your attention is constantly under attack. Notifications ping, ads flash, opinions clash. Your phone buzzes, your inbox fills, your mind fractures. We live in an economy of distraction, where your attention is the most valuable currency. And every day, you're being pulled in 100 different directions. No wonder you feel scattered, no wonder you feel drained. But Buddhism teaches, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. So the question is, what are you feeding your mind today? Peace or poison? Reclaiming your attention begins with a mental detox. Unfollow, unsubscribe, unhook, not just digitally, but mentally. Clear out the clutter. Create space for your inner voice to be heard again. Try this. Each time you notice your mind wandering into negativity, gently guide it back. Not with judgment, but with awareness. Like training a muscle, your focus strengthens with practice. Over time, you'll notice something profound. Your thoughts no longer control you. You control them. Because attention is life. Where your attention goes, your life follows. So protect it. Direct it. Guard it like the treasure it is. Because the less you let the world control your focus, the more you take back authorship of your life. Life is waves. rising, falling, unpredictable. Most of us spend our lives fighting those waves. We resist, we push, we demand life go our way, and in that resistance, we drown. But Buddhism teaches, whatever has the nature to arise has the nature to cease. The storm will pass, the wave will fade, the pain will soften. The question is not whether waves come, they always will. The question is, will you resist or will you allow? Think about a time you fought reality, a relationship that didn't unfold as you wanted, a career path that didn't match your plan, an outcome that disappointed you. Each time, the resistance screamed, "This shouldn't be happening," and each scream added weight to your shoulders. But what if you let go of the inner no? What if, just for a moment, you said, "Yes, this is what is." Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean passivity. It means starting from peace, not panic. It means floating with the river instead of thrashing against it. Think of a person floating downstream. If they fight the current, they exhaust themselves. If they relax, they discover the river carries them safely. Life is the same. The freedom you crave isn't found in controlling the river. It's found in learning how to float. So ask yourself today, where am I resisting life? Where am I gripping so tightly that I'm creating my own suffering? And what would happen if I just let go? Sometimes surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. Because peace isn't found in fixing life. It's found in finally allowing life to flow. At the end of the day, your peace doesn't come from controlling the world. It doesn't come from being approved of. It doesn't come from making life unfold according to your script. Your peace comes from one quiet choice: to let go. The less you care about what drains you, the more energy you have for what lifts you. The less you perform for applause, the more you live for truth. The less you fight life, the more life flows through you with ease. You don't need to silence every storm. You don't need to control every outcome. You don't need to carry every stone. You only need to remember, you are not the storm. You are the sky. And the sky is always vast, always still, always free. So take a breath. Set down the stones, cut the ropes, open your hand. Because happiness isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And the moment you allow it, peace walks in.